All right, let's get some light on in here. There we go. Hey there, everybody. Christopher Inks with Texas West Capital. It is just a few minutes after 11 a.m. Central Standard Time here on, Friday, the 16th of June, 2023. Hopefully you guys are doing all right. You may notice I have a bit of a sunburn. It's just been a heck of a week, guys. Food poisoning there, and then I had this sunburn, which got pretty bad, and I think that kind of made everything that much worse. But I am back, and things are here, and Fiboswani was supposed to be here today, but he got a hold of me and said something came up, and he was not able to make it, so we've rescheduled him for next Friday, okay? Remember, guys, Fibo has a standing invitation to join me every other week per his schedule. So usually it's good, but sometimes his schedule gets in there and things come up and he can't make it. I left a message. I think I posted a message on Twitter yesterday. And then, of course, the thumbnail for today, little stamp over him that says it got rescheduled for next week. Okay. So hopefully nobody be asking me, where's Fibo? I've done what I can to let you guys know. All right. So, hey there, Data, Bamboo, Baltazar, Aeroquin. What's going on, guys? Good to see y'all. Man, oh man, interesting move by Bitcoin this morning. Had that sudden drop there, and then that big time rally right back up, right? But keeping Discord members up to date on all that. So hopefully they're making some money. Baltazar says too much pool time results in a sunburn. Hey man, you know what? It's just crazy over here right now. It's 100 plus degrees. Feels like 115. I was not out there long, guys. I was out there like just a couple hours. It was crazy. But that's what I get for not working on the weekends, right? What's going on, Hank? I see you there. I think you're laughing at me because of the sunburn. Oh, it says hola. See, when you speak other languages, man, it looked like it said haha. Aeroquin, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I am feeling better, thankfully. So we're doing good here. But man, oh man. So today we're going to talk about, should you have sold in May and went away, as the old adage goes there, or not? Should you have traded the charts? We'll also talk real quick about the SEC, about BlackRock, about Prometheus, about, my gosh, it's just so much kind of going on at the moment, right? Soren, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Kimasabi as well. But here's the thing, guys, and this is the thing that most people have a hard time accepting. None of this stuff, this news events or whatever they're going on, change what's going on with prices. Prices are going to do what they're going to do. And it's already in there. All this news with this stuff just kind of aligns generally with the social mood. And that's already in the charts, guys. Charts are a product of that because people buy and sell according to their mood. So if you think about it, the financial markets, the charts are the quickest way we can see how do people feel. Because everything else, all those government numbers, everything else, businesses, laying off or hiring on or ceasing production or slowing down production or increasing production, it's all based on you and me as in the aggregate, whether we're actually buying and selling out there. And so this is a hard thing for most people to wrap their heads around. Frank, Sarang, good to see you guys. Mark here as well, tuning in from lovely Denver, Colorado today. Wow, man, what you doing in Denver? That's awesome, though. It might even be a little bit warm there. I don't know. Anyway, so let's kind of talk about a few things here. Let me get my notes. Oh man, the first thing I want to just mention here real quick. I saw a quick thing on SBF. He was in court, I guess, just here today or recently. And so the prosecutors actually withdrew those 5 extra counts that they've added to him, those charges, since he was extradited. His lawyers had argued that they shouldn't have been added after he was extradited, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So they pulled it back. But then, and that includes that bribery charge. Remember that bribery charge with, what was it, China, I think? And so, but it looks like he's going to potentially have a second trial, potentially in early next year. That's what the prosecutors asked the judge for those 5 charges. So it's not like they're just taking them away. It's like a temporary, it's like, hey, we're just going to take them and hang them over here And once we're going through this, then we're going to get this other trial started as well on these. So, man, he's just, I don't know. I look at all this and I can't help but be a bit of a, I don't know. I look at that, guys, and I'm just like, man, what if he gets away with all this somehow? I don't mean to laugh, but, there's so much craziness going on, and there's always craziness going on in politics. And, I don't know. He seems pretty well connected, him and his family and everything else. And it just, he didn't, it blows my mind that he didn't actually run. I mean, this guy knew what he was doing. And I don't think, is he really stupid enough to sit around and go, yeah, the court's going to believe that, oh, I just kind of messed up. Oh, no, made a simple mistake. I didn't do anything on purpose. I don't know. I just, man, that seems like a whole lot of hope on that. What do you guys think there? Bamboo says, what's going on, Bamboo? He says those bribes did not work out, it seems like. Let me see here. Baltazar says he agrees. He says, what'd you say here, man? Let me get you back on there. It says, his family does have connections to high circles. Yeah, in politics, we're going to I'm kind of talking about this a little bit because we're going to lean into the SEC and Gensler and all this kind of stuff going on right now. But yeah, I mean, I'm not normally a conspiracy theorist. The one thing I can say historically about conspiracy theories are they're always conspiracy theories until they're not anymore, right? And a lot that have been conspiracy theories in the past have turned out to actually be true, especially when it concerns government, the ABC agencies, right? Stuff like that. So it's like, man, you don't want to believe stuff like that, but at the end of the day, history is a bitch, right? Mark, have a great time. 4 days in Colorado, man. Have a great time there, buddy. Mark says the money is gone. Speaking about SPF, so I mean, what's going to happen with them, and how will he ever pay it back? Yeah, I don't even know that I necessarily believe that it's gone. I find it really hard to. I mean, if you think about it, guys, with what he did and the money he had access to, and all the ways that he accessed it, and the way it seems it's all going. I mean, you've got to prepare yourself for the fact that you're probably going to get caught. And if you get caught, you want to make sure, thieves do this, right? They make sure that they have this money set away somewhere where you can't find it, hopefully, right? And so I can't help but think that, he's got a good store of money somewhere. It's just all this, just a lot of craziness. Things don't really make a whole lot of sense at the moment. And maybe he's just a wunderkind idiot, right? Maybe he's just really smart, but an idiot at the same time. I mean, that's always possible. I don't know that I generally believe that, but man, crazy times though, right, guys? Man, you guys, I'm telling you, I've been on this earth almost 50 years. I have not seen so much nonsense as I've seen over like the last 4 years in crypto. Seriously. It's just been absolutely crazy. And not even just crypto really, but everything else going on with stocks in the economy and everything else. It's just, oh man, this is an interesting time to be alive and pay attention. So I hope you guys are paying attention. Michael, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you here. Genghis, what's up, man? Andrew's here. Let me kind of catch up with you guys. Michael Johnson says, I mean, he did try and run, just wasn't effective at it. I don't know. Did he really try and run? I mean, he stayed in the Bahamas. I don't know that that's really running. I mean, you got to get out to someplace where you're going to be, that you can be extradited from. I don't know. I'd really call that, running. But again, really smart guy that's really an idiot. And he did attempt to run, but it was really just a stupid way of doing it and wasn't effective at it. I mean, could be, right? Aeroquin says, I've always felt SBF will get off. As you said, he's well connected. The crypto space is the Wild West of investing, so people take all the risk themselves. Yeah. I don't know. They would really have to, it would really have to be set up incredibly well for him to get away with it because people are so pissed. So many people have lost so much money, right? I mean, it's a large swath of people. And so if it looks like, oh, he's just getting away with it, government has a hard time, right? Because then what the people, are you going to believe in the government? You're going to do what the government says? Well, The government ain't actually doing, if it ain't actually working for you, if it ain't actually helping you, if it's allowing and encouraging BS like this and being a part of it, I mean, government starts losing its legitimacy, right? Government's legitimacy, guys, you have to understand, government's legitimacy, when you think about it, only goes as far as the people, you and me, in the aggregate, actually believe in it. If we all just one day said, you ain't government no more, and we stop abiding by those laws, people start doing that. I mean, what's the government gonna do? I mean, they can crack down. They got the guns, right? I mean, we're in the U.S., we got guns too, right? But I mean, they got the heavy weapons, they got whatever. So I mean, it's really kind of interesting. I think if he were to get away with it, man, I don't know. That would just be really crazy. Man, maybe I need to start a podcast about this kind of stuff and talk about all this crypto news all the time. I don't know. Y'all probably wouldn't be too interested in that. Mark says he ran to League of Legends. That was funny. He was playing it there, right? Data says money creates freedom. That's right. That's right. No FDIC insurance on crypto. That's right. Baltazar says, plus he and Gensler are best friends, right? I mean, there's a whole bunch of Gensler in there. Hank says allegedly did. Yes, he allegedly did the things that he's being charged with until he gets, until the judge rules that he's guilty. He should still be considered innocent. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, right? What's going on, Diego? Good to see you here. BlackRock BTC Trust. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a minute here. He's got a USB drive hanging from a coconut tree in the Bahamas. You guys are crazy. Hank says that trial by social media has been done. Let's wait for the real one. I think he's just a fool who went manic. It's possible. It is possible. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Man, we don't want to think that, though. We of course, and people that were hurt, I wasn't in that. I wasn't in part of that. I stayed out of Celsius. I stayed out of Voyager, like I told you guys, right? Remember, like, what was it, a year before all that crap went down? And somebody on stream here asked me, said, hey, man, which one would you get into? And I said, I'm not interested in getting into any of them. There's no way they can keep these APYs going. I said, and as soon as the bear market comes in, I said, they're all going to come crashing down. And it's going to hurt so many people, right? If you guys can find that video and that thing, let me know. I'd like to post that somewhere. But yeah, it was about a year before that happened, right? So I stayed out of all that nonsense. I stayed off FTX. So I mean, the way that I am as a trader investor, the risk, I've got a lower risk tolerance. I want to avoid risk as much as possible. To the greatest extent possible, while still being allowing myself to make that money, right? So I stay away from all that silly stuff. But that silly stuff, these big promises, these big things, they feed on what new traders come in and think. New traders want to make money overnight, get rich overnight, right? They want to do it without having to do any work, right? So all these things you guys see that come up in your feeds, all these advertisements to you, hey, you can learn to trade in 30 minutes and you can be making $1,000, $2,000 a week right away, or whatever. It's all BS, guys. It's all BS. But they're telling you what you want to hear because they know that's what you want to hear. And if you hear that, you'll probably spend money, and you do. And so they make all this money luring you guys in. The same thing with the APYs, those huge, supposed return. Just take here, it's safe. You get all this money. It works for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, boom, didn't work anymore, right? And so, really, guys, if you guys notice, there's one thing I do here constantly is I constantly try to remind you guys to be wary, to understand that risk is not just the trade you're getting in, but the exchange you're on, the pair you're trading, the product you're trading, right? Stocks versus precious metals versus futures versus energy versus, whatever it happens to be, crypto, right? FX, all this stuff, right? It's all these things, but there's so many levels of risk in life, but also especially in trading, right? And if it sounds like, if you want to get rich quick, I mean, be honest with yourself. If you want to get rich quick and that's what you're looking to do with trading and somebody offers you that, be very wary of it. I've never done that. I've always told you guys, listen, it's going to take you time and effort. It's going to take you focus, discipline, consistency, because that's what happens. That's what it takes. And so, a lot of people try not to listen to me because I say it, because I'm real with you guys. I don't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear. I tell you the truth. And I appreciate y'all that keep coming back because you get it, I think, right? You get it. You continue to come back, hour and a half long shows here, and you continue to show up. And I really feel great for you guys because you've got a good start. If you can at least understand these things, it's a great place to start with, okay, what do I do next, right? Gareth, what's up, man? Says the man is back. The Robinhood customers are now forced to sell at a loss. Yeah, Robinhood delisting ADA, Sand, I think they had, and a few others, right? That the SEC came out and said were likely securities and whatnot. Yeah. Hank's saying all the U.S. funds and a lot of the others used to pay the lawyers $30 million per quarter. Yep. But listen, guys, let me just say something. As somebody who actually has a law degree, not somebody playing lawyer here, okay? As somebody who actually has a law degree, who's been through it and whatnot, okay? Yes, lawyers are expensive, especially in the U.S. Litigation is expensive in the U.S., okay? Part of that is because everything related to it, especially the more nuanced your case, the bigger it is, all these things, right? You got to bring in experts. Experts cost money, right? You got to bring in man hours. In FTX's case, there's a lot of man hours because there's so much to go through, right? So many pages of documents, whatever to go through, right? And so you have to understand this. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, you have to pay it, but it's not like lawyers are just greedy. It costs a lot of money to go through a lawsuit, especially here in the U.S. So yeah. But lawyers are going to get their money too, sure. But it really is. I don't think a lot of people really appreciate just how expensive it is to litigate in the U.S. Okay. Let me see here. Mark, what's up? DeFi be cray. Dang, I have to leave because we have to go catch the train to the hotel. Okay, man. Take care. Michael, what'd you say? You said, I lucked out on BlockFi and Celsius, got all crypto off BlockFi before they closed and got 95% of crypto off Celsius before they closed. Man, good job, man. Lucky for that. I like to hear that because so many just had so much trouble, right? FTX was a really hard one to see coming. Hank says it's not the customer's fault. It's not like if you had only done more due diligence, you would never use FTX. Yeah, exactly. We're seeing a lot of stuff that comes in now where, how all the handling of funds and everything was going, but we weren't privy to all that prior, right? Yeah, exactly. It sucks, man. It sucks. Dime says lawyers are definitely greedy. They bill their minions out for way too much money when they're pretty much just paralegals. Again, guys, you have to understand there is a lot of cost associated with it, right? And of course, just to go to law school is a lot of money, right? So, all these things come up in cost, guys. It is what it is. And I know, I won't convince you, if you don't understand from the other side of it. But yeah, now some firms are going to charge a lot more, and they can. It's like any other business, guys. Listen, you have to understand any other business out there, right? We, Texas West Capital, we are definitely not the cheapest out there, right? We're not the most expensive, but we're not the cheapest. And as time goes on, we're going to continue to get more expensive because, we provide a specific level of service, and those that can afford to pay it will, right? I mean, that's the way businesses are. And I know a lot of people sometimes then feel like, oh, okay, well, it's not fair to those of us who can't do that. And, life is that way, right? It's not like anybody's trying to single you out. But, again, guys, I go back to the way that I've lived my life, which is there's been times in my life, especially when I was younger, where I couldn't afford certain things, right? Certain levels of things that I wanted. And so what did I do? I didn't complain about it. I went out and found a way to increase my livelihood so that I could, right? Or I just said, listen, I'm not interested in that at that price level. And that's okay. That's okay, guys. But I think a lot of time as consumers, we get caught up in the, oh, me thing. The idea that, oh, somebody has to cater to me specifically. And that's not really the way that things are in the world, right? So anyway, so yeah, but it is what it is. You're going to get cheap lawyers out there too. Well, cheaper comparatively, right? And then it's kind of iffy. What kind of quality you're getting, What kind of connections do they have? How can they, a lot of things, especially when you look at law here in the U.S., right? You get specialties where you get people that specialize in specific areas of law, and they're going to charge you more money. But you often want that because even though a run-of-the-mill attorney can represent you, if it's something more nuanced, you want somebody that's got experience in it and already they do this all the time. That's their specialty. They understand the law relating to that, the case law, everything else coming into it. And you want to pay somebody a bit more for that because that other lawyer, even though they are qualified, right, even though they're allowed to represent you in that, they're not going to have that intricate knowledge. But that's the same thing as any other job out there, right? If you're looking for a plumber, but you're trying to do some plumbing for your pool, the plumber can do the job, but your plumber that specializes in pool installations is going to know the absolute best way to do it. And the way they do things are going to likely save you money and, be more cost efficient and whatnot for you. Right. So, I mean, it's just whatever you're thinking about. Yeah, I'm thinking about the pool right now. But yeah, you guys, again, I'm not going to convince a lot of y'all here. I get that. But hopefully it at least gives you something to chew on, to think about, okay? So let me see here. What else do we got? We got Hong Kong is encouraging major banks to accept crypto exchanges as clients, right? So Hong Kong is really pushing to be that crypto hub of the world. And so they're out there doing that. We heard that Binance is leaving the Netherlands. Hank, get your money off Binance. But I also saw something recently, just today, where it said they're pulling out of Cyprus as well. Even though they got the license in Cyprus, they're pulling out of Cyprus supposedly to concentrate on other areas of the Euro area over there. Binance just having a tough time right now, right? Kind of jumping out everywhere, right? Not anymore. What, Hank? I don't know what you mean. But yeah, so we got all that going on. We've got Gensler. So here's the interesting thing. So we look at Gensler, and I kind of I kind of talked about it, I think last time, where we said, okay, Gensler seems to just be hell-bent on taking out crypto, right? And then I said, okay, well, maybe it's more of a, maybe it's more of a plan otherwise, right? So now we hear that BlackRock is submitted this Bitcoin Trust ETF thing, right? Now, BlackRock isn't a joke. BlackRock is huge, guys, and they usually don't do things like this unless they believe they've got a really, really good chance of winning. So let's be conspiracy theorists here. What if, now, remember, last time I talked about it, I said, Gensler's going to be out. So I believe if anybody other than a Democrat wins in the next election, presidential election, I think Gensler's out. If not, he's got a couple of years in here, right? 2025 or 2026, right? But his position is really political, okay? And so a lot of times in these positions, they're jockeying for what can they do afterward, right? And so no doubt, Gensler's got good money. He's a banker before, all this stuff, right? But why do you become the head of the SEC? You become the head of the SEC because you got big plans after. Or you've got big plans that you hope you can realize after. So what if Gensler is working on behalf of BlackRock to kind of clear the way of the crypto native companies so that they can swoop in, right? And become big business in there, or, something like that. Where, so when he gets out, he's got a position already set up with them that pays really well, right? And a lot of importance and power and whatever, right? You got to understand, guys, people don't get into like the head of the SEC stuff like that because they want to protect the people. That's not what they're doing. That is a political position. It is about power. Like the president, guys. Same thing. People don't become president to help the little people. That isn't what it's about. It's about power, and it's about what can I use that to do, once I'm out. So that's about as conspiratorial as I'm getting, guys. But, hey, maybe it's just crazy coincidental stuff and coming in. The good thing is none of this really matters at the end of the day, guys. The news is in the charts. We already talked about this, right? And if you understand that, then you understand the rest of this is just, I don't know, bread and circus, right? Something to keep you guys entertained. It seems like, YouTube programs that talk about the news, what's going on there more than the charts, get a lot more views, right? Yeah, it's kind of, that's on you guys. It's on you for what you're at, right? What'd you say there, Hank? Let me see. He says, you think they come for your coins, but they come for the ecosystem. That is where the real money is after all. I mean, it is. At the end of the day, it is, right? I talked about, if you guys have been following me for a while, many of you have, when you look at crypto, look at it like Wrangler looked at the gold rush in the 1800s in California, right? Wrangler provided the jeans, right? The pants. Look at the people that provided the shovels, right? That was where the money was made, not in the actual digging of the gold. So this is something I've been talking about for a few years here. It's the same way with crypto, right? It's those everything else that's really where the money's made, right? It's huge. Michael Johnson says the news is easier to follow for the untrained eye. Let's see here. Look at Bamboo says the last president of the Swiss National Bank went to BlackRock after he had to resign from his post. I mean, it is what it is, right, guys? I mean, I don't think it's I don't think it's too much to think that maybe that's what's going on. But yeah, it's it's kind of crazy, right, guys? Tenacious B, what's up? He says, schmooze, pick favorites as a regulator, get hired to run that company. The regulating agency stays lenient. Yeah. Again, also, if you think about it, when it comes to politics in general, right? Congressmen, congresswomen, they go in there, they do their time. And then when they lose or they leave, right, they go out, they become what? They become lobbyists. They've got the inside track already. They've already got the connections. Lobbying companies hire them. It is what it is. It's crazy stuff though, right, guys? Let me see here. So we've got that, and then we've got this Promethean thing, right? Prometheum. So Prometheum is that company. Let me see the special. Let me get it right here exactly. Oh man. Special purpose broker dealer for digital assets. So they received the approval for the first of its kind special purpose broker dealer, the SPBD, for digital asset securities, right? And all of a sudden he's up in front of Congress. Right now the company's not really operating right now. They don't even tell us what things they think they're going to, what coins they're actually going to have, right? And apparently, even though they've got this license, they still can't list securities or tokens that are considered securities unless those tokens go through what they need to do already. So it's not like they can just go, oh yeah, we'll come on here anyway. So it's really this crazy kind of thing with Prometheum now. And like I said, all of a sudden they're up in front of Congress, and all of a sudden they got all these opinions on everything. And what a crazy time to come in, right? Because here's the thing: if Prometheum, I don't know. I think the big thing about Coinbase going in there says, hey, listen, we don't really have any rules. We don't. What are we supposed to do here? We don't know what we're supposed to do. You're not telling us what we're supposed to do. And if Gensler can turn around and go, oh yeah, well look, Promethean got the license, did the things they're supposed to do. You could have done that, right? All of a sudden that would expect to kind of weaken Coinbase's case, right? By the way, understand that in the BlackRock thing, Coinbase is going to be the custody agent for that. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, so Promethean, this becomes a really interesting thing as well, right? Oh, I don't know. Maybe, man, I was talking about podcaster. Maybe we start maybe we start a crypto conspiracy theory podcast. I mean, that would have been the thing to do, right? A couple years back. There's always so much of that stuff going around crypto, right? Going around crypto Twitter and everything. Man, you'd always have something for an episode. Hey, I may do that. You guys pay attention, okay? Gray, what's going on? It's the Sanctuary videos, always the best now. Say keep me on track. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that you pay attention to what I'm saying there, right? Some of that Prometheum stuff is wild. It is kind of crazy there. It is. So anyway, so we've got all that going on, right? And what does that do? Well, let's kind of jump over. Let's kind of look at what we got going on the charts, right? So we've got, this is not the DXY. This is the dollar futures, which is just, again, you can't trade the DXY, but you can trade the dollar futures on the ICE exchange. The only place you can trade it, right? And so again, we've got this breakdown here to the S1 pivot on the daily. Our RSI is not broken down into oversold yet. Stoke RSI is oversold, curled up, wants to cross bullishly, but hasn't bottomed. Well, yeah, it has bottomed out there. Okay. Now the question is, if I look at this, I think of this along the lines of maybe like a 1-2, and then a 1, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically like a 1-2, and then maybe this is a 3 or 3 of 3, right? So we get a rally up and a full back further. Overall, there is nothing here screaming that we're heading higher. That doesn't mean we can't, but there's nothing going on here that screams we're going to head higher here, guys. You can see that we got rejected prior to the previous swing high up here, right beyond that, right here at the weekly pivot, right? Look at it. On the daily, nothing but wicks. Nothing but wicks. Nice rounding top up there. We should head on down, break down lower. So again, minimum expected wave 3 down here, right? So this is, I've got this basically as potentially a 1-2 and then a 1-2 minimum expected wave 3 right around 95.8, right? The other possibility, of course, is that maybe this is an A and a B, and then we get a C. C down here around 91.765. We're going to get more idea of which one this may be as we continue to play down here, but I have very little thought that it's even going to get back above this extreme over here, this 104.615. I think that does it. I think that's it. I think we, break down lower here. By the way, this level, this is the level right here, right? This is it. You had your swing low. You had this overlap here. So you provide this demand, right? And you've got this low, 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 all in the same area. Now you're coming down again. You're likely breaking down lower. And what does that mean? That doesn't mean that Bitcoin has to run or that stocks have to run. But what it does mean is it takes off that downward price pressure. Now, there's other things. Obviously, it's not just the value of the dollar that determines these things, but it is a part of it. And so if you can get that bit of pressure off it at least, well, hey, guess what? That really opens you up to some further, in the terms of those, some further upward movement, right? By the way, notice there's a slight gap here on the breakdown through the daily pivot here. You've got basically this breakaway gap. You get these large candles, and you see that volume expansion there. So again, it suggests this is probably a third wave, whether it's 3 of 1, 2, 3, or whether it's 1, 2, 3 remains to be seen. But either way, I think, we get a bit of a bounce here. If we're going to go up higher here, maybe we rally up into the 102.2 or 102.34 area, maybe if we can get that up there. But I think we get rejected and head down lower on that. So not really feeling a whole lot of worry about the dollar still, right? Real quick here, VIX, guys. VIX remains. Remember, we talked about a while back. I talked about the idea that while it trends under 16, usually we see continued rally. And so here we are, right? By the way, this is the S&P here, or this is the E-minis, actually. The futures for the S&P there, right? Look at that. Above that mid-August swing high. Officially bull market, as we talked about before. Y'all been arguing, not y'all, a lot of people been arguing with me about this being a bottom here. Same thing with Bitcoin, right? Still are. And people think they're going to come on here and act like fools, right? They think they'd be up here, be all like disrespectful and rude and leave, rude comments, and they won't get blocked. It's funny. There's one of y'all probably listening right now, or you'll be listening here later, who's leaving me nice little comments on YouTube. But, again, if you don't get it, you don't get it. That's on you. And what'll probably happen is they won't apologize, first of all, when they finally give up with the fact that they think it's got to go to new lows and all this crap, right? They won't apologize. But even if they do, they're going to expect, me to say, oh, okay, that's fine. Why the hell would I say that's fine? You acted like an ass. You have to deal with it. That's on you. I don't, people are funny. People are funny the way they act, right? They treat you like crap, and then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, my bad. I was wrong. Sorry about that. And then they expect to get some kind of, oh, okay, yeah, it's fine. No, it wasn't fine. Would your mama raise you in a barn? You should go back and learn manners. You might argue with me about, oh, wait, no, is that? Let me get this one over here. Frank says, you might argue with me about cricket, like the sport, or like fishing with crickets. I don't know a whole lot about the sport, so I probably wouldn't argue a whole lot about it. Let me see here. Aerocoin, how low do you expect the VIX to drop before we see a meaningful reversal? 7-9 reach? You know, I think we're probably nearing the low. I could see it potentially getting down here around 12.5 or, you know, maybe even 11.5, maybe. But I think we'll get a move up because we're going to have a pullback with the S&P, right? And when we get that decent, like a third wave kind of pullback, third of a third, I think we'll see the VIX push up a bit. But overall, I'm not really. I could see it just kind of bouncing under 16 a bit as well. I don't know that I necessarily see that there's going to be like some huge reaction all of a sudden. I think the people that are talking about that generally are looking for like, so they look at what we're doing here and they go, okay, well, it's going to come crashing down now, right? New lows. And I think they're the ones that talk about some big spike, like we've had there. But since I'm not expecting that at the moment, I don't expect us to get like big, huge spikes like that really from the VIX. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but right now it seems like, at least with local pullbacks, we're likely to remain below 16 or maybe just a bit above it here up to 20. But I think these big moves up here into this 30 and above, I don't think that we're at that point, where we're going to see that. I could be wrong, but I don't think we're there. So, yeah. Let me see here. What else we got? So we've got that other. We got that other way. We can look at Bitcoin here, right? Well, so here is the Bitcoin futures, right? And so I posted this right here. Was this June 14th? Right here around these lows. And I said, in case nobody's told you, this is where you should be looking for crypto entries. It may not be right this second, but likely very soon. So pay attention. Hopefully you guys were, because here we go, right? Rallying up off there. If we look at this structure here, this looks like accumulation here with this volume and price action. You're not really getting much at the top here, right? You're getting that volume at the bottom though, and then it pops up and it just comes a little bit slightly lower, but look at all that volume that kind of just follows up with it. It goes there. There's really getting no real follow through the downside. Instead, that volume's kicking up and pushing up larger candles. So I think it's making a good argument locally here on the small time frames that bottom may be in. Again, this is the futures here. Right now we kind of get, that's the hourly. Let me see, where's that daily? Yeah. So really, I mean, if we're popping up above this daily, which is right around 27.6, 27.7, I think that's, all she wrote. We should be looking for higher. The way I have this count here is that I've got this as a, on spot, I've got it set up as basically, and I guess we'll look at the spot. You know what? I've got the spot chart here. I think I do. Let me see here. So many things to talk about. Okay, let me do it this way real quick. Let me zoom out here a bit. Just so we're clear, my main count basically is doing this, right? So basically 1, 2, and then you're going to notice a little bit of a change here, 2. Okay. And so this right here is the alternate count, because remember before I was looking at the possibility maybe this was a 1 here and then we had an ABC and an ABC and then 5 down as an expanded flat. As this has continued to take more and more time, remember when we were doing this and we had this overlap, and I talked about the idea that maybe we could have a 1, 2, 3, 4 as a triangle and 5. So that's the alternate count that I'm looking at now. And so if we look at that, we've pulled back on this wave 2 here. 50%, almost 61.8, right? Let me get these all pushed down here, and then we can talk about this for a minute. All right, I think they did that. Yeah, okay. And so as we look at this, what do we have? We have basically what appears to be a throw under of this channel. Or, you could potentially do something like this as a wedge here. And kind of do like this here, right? So you got your swing high, your swing low, your swing high, your swing low. You got a throw under of it, and here you go rallying back up. And by the way, we're right here at the weekly pivot, right? So, I mean, it's just the alternate of what we were looking at previously, when I was looking at this being a 1 and a flat as a 2, and I talked about the idea this could be a 4. That's all it is. Everybody's freaking out. All we've done, guys, I mean, geez, I worry about some of y'all, right? Because all we've done is retest this support resistance area. That's all we've done here. That's it, right? Now your weekly, we did close. Actually, what is this? This is Coinbase. Okay. So Coinbase, Bitcoin USD, here we go. We closed below the weekly pivot here. So now what we want to see with this is we really want to see a close back above it. If you wick under support and close back above it, support's considered to have held. If you close below it and then in your next candle close back above it, it will be considered to have held. So right now that's what we're looking for, is this movement back up there above that 25,771 to say it's held. Oh, I'm sorry, not 25,771. I've got this here. Why do I have this here? I'm going to push this up a bit. There we go. 26,780 kind of area. We want to see a close back up above that. By the way, again, a lot of overlapping price action. Volume continues to drop off until we got this one final breakdown here, which just leads, that was the breakdown below the weekly there. So we'll see how this one picks up. If we start picking up here and really start getting some movement this weekend, we can see this volume's got a good chance of breaking out above last week's volume. And all of a sudden you look at volume starting to expand right here at the lows, leaving a large lower weekly wick. So just watch for that. That's kind of one thing that you want to watch there, okay? Let me see here. Let's see. All right, so Goodwill Hunting is one of the idiots, right? And it's because I get tired of the nonsense. People come in and they act rude and they're like, oh, no offense meant. And then they come back the next week and they act rude again, right? And it's like, I don't understand where your parents raised you. How do you think it's okay to be so disrespectful to people in life? It's ridiculous. I'm old enough to respect people enough to understand that isn't how you act. But here you are, acting the fool. And when it shows up to be just fine, you won't apologize. And even if you did, again, as I said earlier, you would expect me to go, oh, no, that's fine. You know what? Screw that. You act like a jerk. You get, reap what you sow. I don't have time for nonsense like that, right? So, sorry, guys. It was this comment right here. So you can go look at his funny little comments there. So it's just absolutely awful. I don't understand, man. You guys think it's okay because it's social media, I guess, and you're hiding behind fake names and pictures. I don't get it. I feel for you because the rest of us that actually understand how to act toward people, we feel sorry for you, like really sorry for you. I mean, it's a lot of pity on our end, and you don't get it. You don't get it. You can get a lot more with honey than vinegar, right? And here if you've got a different opinion, that's fine. Have a different opinion. Okay? But see, when you have stupid comments like this right here, this 1 hour accumulation, laugh out loud, bottom been in since 30K, is that nonsense, right? That proves, one, that you've never listened to me, actually listen to the words I've said. Two, it also shows that you have no clue what accumulation and distribution are or how they develop. But see, you go out here and you make stupid comments like that, and you put it on show for everybody to see how ignorant you are when it comes to those things, right? So, I mean, you know, guys, and the funny thing is, it always gets me when people are disrespectful to me because I'm probably one of the nicest guys out there. I really want you guys to be successful. I really want you guys to understand. I give out so much free content, information, and education here every week, twice a week, right? And people like that, you just can't help people like that, right? So, you know, it is what it is. Let me see what you say here, Michael. It says, if you actually follow Chris, he always provides invalidation for his ideas. I don't think he ever said that bottom was in at 30K. Thank you very much. Exactly. Every time I come on here and talk with you guys, we always talk about, here's the validation level. It's got to go through this. Here's the invalidation. If it goes through that, then we're looking at these lower targets every freaking time. And you still got idiots coming up and talking nonsense like that. Jesus. Okay. Well, listen, you think you're so right, then go ahead and be right somewhere else, man. You think you're right. You think, oh my God, it's going down, way down. It's got to go down to 20,000, whatever. It's just so stupid, right? We talk about the main thing, which is the macro, right, guys? This is what we're all interested in, right? The local thing, we kind of talk about, okay, yeah, here's some ideas. If it happens, it happens, not. But it's always with mainly looking at the macro, right? Anybody's been following more than 2 days and actually paying attention. Anybody that's actually paying attention would know that, right, guys? But, you know, again, but this is what I'm hoping you guys don't turn out to be, because it's embarrassing for you. Why would you want to be that way? Right? I don't get it. The people today. Guys, I'm going to start to get into a discussion here about the shortcomings of people in public today, right? But anyway, so, you know, guys, listen, that's the kind of nonsense, right? If you don't pay attention, that's the kind of stuff you say. If you're not humble about what you'll get, that's the kind of stuff you say. But then you got, again, people like Michael here who pay attention. Aeroquid, man, I appreciate you, buddy. You know, you got people like this that are in Data and Hank and everybody, and Kimosabi, right? They kind of, you guys come in here and you understand, you pay attention, and you listen, right? You don't go, oh my God, yeah, he says it's definitely it, right? The closest thing I'm giving you guys to I think the bottom here is this down here, right? But I've been talking about that since this structure here, since this drop down to that June low. And again, if you don't understand Wyckoff, you can't, this right here as accumulation makes no sense to you. Everybody else talks about accumulation right here. This is all part of it. This whole thing is accumulation here. This whole thing, right? This is your back up the edge of the creek. This is exactly what we expect after the break of the range, right? But, you know, again, this is when you talk about things that people don't really understand, you know, they just kind of go off their crazy porch, I guess, right? So sorry about that, guys. I just, you know, why would you choose to act like that? I don't get it. I don't know. I just come from a different time, I guess. All right. Dominance, guys. Check out dominance. If you're into Bitcoin dominance, there we go. We've got basically a triangle here for 4. Looks like we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4. If this count is right, then we've got a 5 up here, right around 50.32%. Okay. Now, there's nothing here saying that, you know, maybe that this isn't some overextended wave 3 and it continues going higher. But right now, that's kind of where I'm looking at it to get toward. If it continues going beyond that, then we'll look and see, are we subdividing in here and going up higher? But, you know, again, working at that with what we're looking at, right? We've got a good move here on this daily right now. This is looking good at the moment here. You guys are so great, man. This is why I love you guys. You know, everybody's like, aren't you so upset you only got 200 followers, haha, or 300 viewing or whatever? Not followers, but viewing. No, because you guys matter. Look at this. People always need something like that. You guys get it. You understand. You're mature. Freaking A, I take that any day, right? Data says, as you also said, the bottom is not an event. Basically, everything below 60 will be considered the bottom once we hit like 10 or something. Yeah, I mean, it's all bigger. It's all, like Elliott waves, right? It's all nested within larger and smaller time frames, right? Don't I realize that we are responsible for other people's misfortune just because they have miners of their own? It's tough to load to bear sometimes, or it seems they're always short sellers too. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But if anybody ever starts talking, okay, I got a couple of hundred people watching at one time. Ask me why that doesn't really bother me a whole lot. Because you guys are here and you guys matter. You guys pay attention. I would rather spend time with a small group of people who get it and who are mature and who really actually seem like they want to learn and understand, rather than spend, even a short amount of time with a huge group of people that are just idiots, right? I mean, that's just the way it is, man. So yeah. In relation to dominance, Ethereum, Bitcoin also looks weak. Great. I'll take a look at that here in a minute. I haven't looked in a few weeks on that. John, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, sir. I am not going to post that. Let me see here. It's the reason why we keep coming back. Okay, well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. You guys are great. Again, that's the important thing, right? Is that you guys get it and you're here to actually pay attention. And if you disagree, you disagree, and that's fine. But it's all about trying to figure out what may be really happening, right? That's what it's all about. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know for sure. Best I can do is what I can do, right? All right, what do we got here? So I had previously looked at the idea that we were looking at potentially a W, and then an X is a triangle, and then an ABC here is a Y, and then maybe a 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, for sure. For integrity. Glad you see that, man. Michael's got it exactly right. You can disagree. Just do it respectfully. Exactly. I've never called anybody an idiot or anything bad here for having a different opinion. I welcome different opinions. We can discuss it. And I can maybe further explain why. Maybe you're not understanding why I feel a certain way. Maybe I've already looked at what you're looking at, but this experience or something here that I've got a reason why I'm not feeling that way. Or maybe it's something I hadn't thought of, and maybe you bring up a good point, and I need to really look at it, maybe consider it. That's what it's all about. Jeez, right? So what are we looking at here, guys? Again, we've got a higher high off here. It's possible this could be a flat. This could be A, B, C down here, and then an A, B, C up here. And then we look for wave 2 to kind of pull on back down here toward this 0.0634 kind of area, maybe even a little bit lower. So if we do get that breakdown there, I'll kind of look at that. If we lose support down here, where's that? 0.06171 area. If we're dropping down below that, then I'm going to go ahead and look at the idea. Obviously, that this is not correct. You'll have to change it. But if instead we break out above this wave X triangle resistance here at 0.073419110 area, if we break out above that, that's going to add confidence to the count and suggest that we're wave 3 headed up here around 0.07867251 kind of area. So that's what I'm looking there, right? I mean, ultimately, guys, God, look at this. We're basically been sideways. Other than a few deviations out of it, we've basically been sideways since since May of 21. It's a couple of years. So when this thing finally goes, it's going to go. There's a lot of pent-up aggression in it, right? So we'll see how that all eventually plays out on that. Yeah, we'll see how that all plays out on it. That's what I'm looking at right now, though. The daily, you can see the daily here, RSI dipping into oversold, already reset, bottomed out, Stoke RSI there and oversold. But that weekly, look at that weekly. Now that weekly is interesting because RSI is about neutral. just below neutral. And we're getting this breakdown here on Stochh RSI. Money flow index is crossing back down as well. So we could see this continue to break on down further here. Maybe it's a different count going on here. Maybe it's an ABC or a WXY as a W, and then this is an X, and then we get another WXY coming down a little bit lower here. If we're breaking down below that swing low, we'll look here at 0.0604958. That's the 61.8, and then the 70.5 at 0.05758,786. Those would be my targets. And then again, we would suggest that this is maybe like a larger WXY correction breaking down there. But if we're looking here, this looks like a pretty clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, right? So that looks pretty clear as 5 up. So I think this is probably a 1, and this is just a 2 in the making here. Does that make sense, guys? Baltazar says some people just comment to get a response and some attention. They don't really care if it's positive or negative. Yeah, unfortunately, social media, people like to watch train wrecks, and so they reward bad behavior. What are we going to do, guys, right? So let me see here. Sorry, guys, give me just 1 minute here. Let me jump on my phone here. I'm long right now, by the way, guys, on Bitcoin. Let me I'm just trying to get this to print out here. By the way, doing the same thing, 50x on that leverage, but again, reduced position size. I'm not like full position at I'm not sitting here at full position at at 50 times leverage or anything. I reduced my position size in relation to my leverage, just so you guys get that. So let me go ahead and post this real quick so people know, and because you always got the idiots on there. Oh, you're not really trading, blah blah blah. I'm just going to post this real quick. You guys see me doing this on right now, right? Let's see here. All right. Tweet that out there. So I got in at 25,609 and 90 cents. I think I'm probably just about to get out of it, actually. Let me zoom in here real quick. Sorry, guys, you're gonna have to trade with me here, okay? Give me a minute. So I was looking this morning off this rally here. It looked to me like we had maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I was looking for this move up. But here we are continuing. We've gone above where I was looking to potentially get out of that 25,923 area. But if we look at this, it looks like, again, 1, 2. This might be 3, 4, 5. Might just be a short 2 here. If we're looking locally, this may be just like a really short 2, right? Sorry, guys. Quick change of plans here. And then this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 4 right there. 5 coming up. I don't know. I was looking. Here's what I was looking at. Shoot. All right. Let me see here. So 1, 2 down here, right? Get you 3 here, and then a 4. And this could be 1, 2. Let me see here. 1, 2. You can see the 1618 there. So where's my 3s on that? Oh, 3 is right here. Pulled the wrong 3 down. 3, 4 here, 4, maybe 3, 4. And so right here, looks like we got 1, 2, maybe just getting a 3, 4, 5. So I think we still have a little bit going here, maybe around this maybe up here around this 26,000, 26,050 area. You probably get us. I think we're probably closer if this count is right in here. But I'll be honest, I'm a little bit. It looks like it's maybe 5 up to here, but then this pullback is only like, it's not even 38.2. But it is 38.2 of this right here. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 printing out here on that. So yeah. What's going on, Deadly 1, 2, 3? Always good to see you, bud. Hank says he's long everything. Let me see here. Brian Riley says, is there hope for Link? Yeah, matter of fact, I'll pull up that chart here in just a minute. I think we may have just seen a spring on that on the large time frame, so we'll check it out. Let me see here. Hank says he wouldn't get out right now. But I don't know. This is just meant to be a short-term trade. So, you know, that's kind of my look on this one right now. Just kind of this, you know, when I get to the 5 minute, I hate getting to the 5 minute because things look kind of iffy, right? I mean, you know, the alternate count would say this is maybe a 1-2, and then this is maybe a 1-2 here, and that would get us a much further upside. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and sell. No, not yet. God dog it. I mean, you know, it's a quick grand, you know, for just a few hours this morning running on that trade, right? So, but again, right here, it looks like 1-2. So we'd think maybe a 3-4. We got a 5 still coming up. I'm just going to go ahead and wait a minute here. Michael Jordan says, for anyone following Fibbo's threshold theory, the 1 hour just signaled the bull zone. He doesn't trade it, but uses it as a signal to keep an eye on the 4 hour. Yeah. Fibbo and I were just talking about charts last night, I believe. And so, you know, he's getting good with that right now. You know, his targets and things are aligning with what I'm looking at. By the way, guys, you know, if this 1-2 idea is correct here, right, on this larger time frame that I'm looking at, my count here, right? Just so you're aware, if this is correct here, you've got a 3 of 3 target, right up here around 43,700 almost. But that would just be wave 3 of 3, right? Wave 5 be up there around 48,000. And basically that gets you like a wave 5 target minimum expected up here at around 54, 55, 53, somewhere right about there. Just in case you guys are keeping up with. That's my main count. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, no. It doesn't have to happen overnight, but I'm just saying, based on this idea that's being a 1-2 here, that's where we'd be going. By the way, you can see that we do have a bullish engulfing candle right now on the daily, or on the 3-day, I'm sorry, which is freaking awesome. We're breaking out now above that last down candle from a couple of days back. So looking for some movement up here toward this daily pivot, honestly. John saying Bitcoin back over 26K. Kimasabi says 5 waves up target for me would be the downward channel resistance. But yeah, let me see here. Hey, Dio Red says 50 out of 50 ride. So Frank, hey Frank, nothing wrong with taking profit, man. That's right. Nobody ever lost money taking profit, right? So if you've got profit, guys, don't ever be afraid, to lock in that profit. Nobody's ever gone broke or lost money taking profit, right? It's really a thing. Let's see here. Hank says we're $50 away from the bearish market structure break on the daily. So there you go. A lot of this, guys, we're coming right up in here, right? This is all this resistance support area here. If we're breaking out above this, if we're kind of getting here, this kind of sets us up, guys. You've got this descending resistance you can look at here if you want, right? And you also have your wedge resistance, right? For me, even if you take counts and everything out of it, guys, what I'm looking for is a rally up into this descending channel EQ, this descending wedge resistance, and this weekly or this daily pivot area here, all around that 27.6, 27.7 kind of area. That's my big target. I expect to see something like a push into that, a pullback, and then a breakout and target then the descending channel resistance, pull back and break out of that. So ultimately, guys, in case you aren't paying attention, this is kind of what I'm looking for. Something like this, right? And it's kind of heading up out of there. So we're going to see if we can kind of get this and do this thing, but big kind of moves heading up. We would probably get 5 waves up, maybe into the resistance here, but I don't know. I don't even think that, because you don't have 2 touches of this resistance. So I think we could just clear it on a 3, a 4, or a 5 pullback. But yeah, not that I mean we have to stop here, but just that this is kind of generally what I would be expecting on the movement coming up. Okay. Hank says his 12-hour or the daily stochastic cross bullishly. So that's part of Hank's system that he has. If you guys have been following that. By the way, guys, make sure you're following Hank. He puts out a lot of information, a lot of charts out there. I'm not saying they're any good, but I like them enough. I'm kidding with you, Hank. He does put out a lot of charts and stuff, though, guys. Hank, go ahead and put in your Twitter handle, man. I don't even know what it is off the top of my head, bud. Oh no, not that channel resistance. I have it around the 27,000 area. Oh, you're talking about the other one. Yeah. You're talking about bringing the channel down. Like I have the wedge here. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're looking here. You know what? I am going to go ahead and exit here. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Let me go. Social proof and all, right? Everybody got to believe everything, right? Now, you know what? I'm going to hold this position. Screw it. You guys heard that. I'm holding the position. We're going to look for see how toppish we are here, or if we're not going to they're a bit further. See, I kind of see. I said that 3618. That's where we hit that 26,050 kind of area. But again, if we're zooming in here, guys, to me, again, this is 1, 2. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do this. Let's see if this is a 4 here. Let me turn this around. Sorry, guys. We'll get on to another chart here in just a minute, guys. Sorry. See, this is what happens. This is why I usually don't trade when I'm trying to do these things, because, you want to look at it. It's shorter term trades anyway. So our 38.2 is right there around 25.9, 37 or so. That would get us a 26.125 target. See here. Yeah. And that's just a little bit lower here. I'll just kind of throw a line right around where it is. Right there. And then the 50 is right there around 25,900. Whoa, get back over there. Right around 25,900 would be the 50. And then that would get us a slightly larger target there at around 26,148 or so. Minimum expected, right? That's what we'd be looking at on that. You actually like this, showing how the sausage is made? Let me see here. Okay, Hank's. Here's Hank's handle there, guys. HTLTIMOR on Twitter if you guys want to follow him. Okay. But yeah, so looking to see what we get here. Now, again, we're on the 5-minute, guys. So this is what I always try and caution you guys about. When you get down to the 5-minute, it's easy to kind of mess up your counts because there's so much volatility, so much noise. So, is it or is it not? Again, we look at the ideas. This will maybe a 1-2, 1-2 here. Or is this, the count as we're seeing it? Again, if this is a 1-2, it pulls back so short, right? You're only pulling back. There we go. You're only pulling back. See, you're not even pulling back 38.2 on that. It's not that it can't be a 2, but it's a very short 2, and that always has me cautious. So we'll see what happens here with this. Let's see if we can at least get that a little bit higher up out of there. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking about it, guys, as far as Bitcoin goes. Jumping here at Riot. Here's my count on Riot, guys. So Riot, I've got us potentially doing a wave 4, having potentially completed it just beyond the 50% retracement there on this swing low. You can see that that's where the volumes kind of come in there. Now we're trying to rally up. The confirmation is the breakout above wave B here at $12.90. Wave 5 is a minimum expected target of $17.52, which puts it right around the weekly R1 pivot. Again, if we get that, the idea is that we then have a 1-2 back here toward this area, right? Because that then gives us that weekly pivot area would then give us, so we can do this here, a 50% retracement. You see that? So wave 2 pulls back into wave 4 toward the stream there, as we usually expect, and it's right there at the weekly pivot. So I think at that point, things look huge. Then you've got wave 3, right? So then you've got wave 3. And by the way, you also notice high volume node area here. Wave 3 minimum expected 33.75 or so. Let me see if we can get this over at 33.75 would be like that wave 3 target. Now, wave 4 may not be done. Wave 5 may overextend. But if wave 4 is done and wave 5 hits our generally expected target, and wave 2 then pulls back to that weekly pivot, I mean, there's your target up there around 33.72. That would give you minimum 5 waves up around 39.23. But I think wave 3 would overextend. I think wave 3 would probably end up around 39 or even $48. Overextension on that wave 3 when that happens. So Riot looking good at the moment. Let me see here. So if you guys are interested in Bitcoin related stocks, there's that for Riot. Still watching the same count on Coinbase here, guys. The same one we've had. Looking at potentially being done just down here, right beyond that 70.5 retracement, right into that area there. Again, to confirm this 1-2, you need to break out above wave B, which is way up here at $85.35. But the idea is this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So locally, you can get a wave 4, this one, 66.35. That should indicate that if your count's correct, that wave C is done. Other than that, I'm not sure if this is the 1-2 or if this is a 1 with a expanded flat here going up. But I think we're probably getting like a 1 here, and then we'll get a 2 on the pullback, and then we'll 3 up. So I think we're probably getting longer. It looks like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, finishing 5 as a leading diagonal maybe on the 4-hour here. But yeah, I mean, things are looking pretty good across, whether you're looking at Bitcoin, whether you're looking at Bitcoin futures, whether you're looking at Bitcoin related stocks. I think things are looking pretty okay overall with them. Let's see here, NVIDIA. Where are we at, NVIDIA? So far, we've peaked out at 437.21. Let me see here. I said we were either going to break out toward the target area up here, or we were going to pull back and then break out. We got this breakout here, kind of looking up here to 450. And if you get up to 450, it's always possible we could try and push 500. People get overly excited, but we might be just about there. It's 437. Let me see. Let me zoom in a little bit here. We're almost up to that R5 hourly pivot. 1, 2. Man, I think we can go through this and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a 1, 2. And then it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I might just get a 3 and a 4 and a 5. Yeah, I'm still looking at those targets. I'm still looking to see if we can grab that 450, 451 area here. And then potentially, we look at 470 and then 500 up there on that. Let me see here. Andrew Bennett says, bummed about coin. I was closed on a stop loss when it dropped from the FUD news. Yeah, it happens, right? Michael Johnson says TSLA still looking good. Let me see here. TSLA, what do we got? Trying to get this over here. Yeah, so we've hit the pattern target here on the this right here. But again, I believe that we're in a wave 3 on TSLA here. So 1, 2, wave 3 has a let me see here. So we've just about hit the 1-to-1 extension, which could say ABC here, right? Looking at this count as an ABC. If it is, then we want to break out above basically the weekly R1 pivot up there around $315. We can do that. That'll suggest this is probably an ABC. And of course, that'll get us pretty close to the wave 3 target at $340. Right now, again, this third leg up is getting right around the 1-to-1 extension. So it could be an ABC. But if we can see some continuation up there, or some pullback and then continuation up and break out above this, head up toward that 340 area, that should set us up for higher on that, guys. Definitely not hating it, but things are getting a bit stretched here, guys. Okay, things are getting a bit stretched here. If we look at the weekly on TSLA, we've almost broken out into overbought on RSI. We are above the weekly pivot, and that is significant, guys. Notice we rallied up impulsively into the pivot, pulled back. It is previous support or previous resistance and support. And then we've rallied impulsively, expanding candle spreads, expanding volume through that pivot. So again, generally speaking, we look for that R1 pivot. And then we look to pull back, right? At least. But here, this would get us, if the 3 holds here at the 340 area, we probably got a 5 up here at around 380, 390. And look at that. We can get a pullback here toward this area, this 244 or 211 on that, if we kind of got up that high up there for that 5. So we got to see if we can get this continuing to push here. Right now, we did hit the pattern target on the bull flag here, or whatever you want to call it there. Descending channel resistance popping up through that. So we've hit that at least. We've just filled in the gap right here, guys. This, what is this? This is the weekly gap here for the week of August 3rd or October 3rd of last year. So we did do that. So we'll see if we can continue doing that. PLTR. Let's see here. Oh, Hank, some 50. What are you saying there? I mean, I'm getting old, guys. I got to put this up where I can read it better. 50x on Bitcoin, doing very good, I would think. Congrats. Oh yeah, man. Thanks. Yeah. But really, I just, to this extent with leverage, I just do it to prove a point out there for a lot of retail traders that come in and don't understand how to use leverage properly. They think it's all about, hey, just put in everything you have at the best leverage, the biggest leverage possible. And it's about reducing your position size in response to the leverage that you've got in there. Yeah, actually, this trade has made me more than yesterday's trade right now. I think I'm going. Let me see here. You guys are going to have to hang with me for a minute here. I think I'm getting close to just going in and closing this out for the weekend. Let's see here. Where are we at? Sorry, guys. Let me see. Oh, just around 100% on that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Give me just 1 second, guys. Sorry. You guys having fun with this? I'm closing it out right now. Probably early, but I've made well more than yesterday. So let me see here. Confirm that. Tweet. All right. That's it. I'm done. It'll probably go higher, but that's actually, I made almost 50% more than yesterday's trade. So no reason to keep kind of going on. It was meant to be a short-term trade. There we go. Do I trade on my phone often? I actually don't trade on my phone at all. The only reason I was going on my phone was so I could post, because you can't do it from the website. That if you guys see on Twitter that that thing that says this is, your return and everything, you can't get that off the desktop. I don't trade off my phone at all, guys. And can I be honest with you guys? I've talked about it often. You shouldn't be trading off your phones. These phone apps, the way that these exchanges make them, are made to make it feel like a game. Robinhood, all these guys, it's made to feel like a game. And if it feels like a game, you're not really taking it seriously. I never trade on a phone. Never. I always trade on my desktop. Okay. So if there's some bit of advice I can give you about trading, where to trade, I would really advise you guys not to trade on your phone if at all possible. The whole reason, the whole design that they go through is to gamify it, to make it fun, to make it a game. And if it's a game, then you don't really think about what you're losing. It's like casinos. They make it fun, right? They make it like a game. It's a game, right? So you're not really serious about winning, right? Even though you're in the house always wins, right? Eventually. So just some things to think about with that. Real quick here, did I have any other charts? We're getting up here, guys. I did not think I was going to spend this whole time, but did we look? Oh, we were going to look at PLTR, right? Yeah. PLTR. Oh man, look at that. That's a nice move here. Michael says he only trades on his phone when he's on the move. Hard to stay in front of my PC all the time with the towel around. Yeah, it is difficult. But I'll be honest with you guys. The more, if you can do it, the more you can treat trading like a business, which means set hours, a set area to trade, whatever, stuff like that. Like you would, like if you had a job, the more chance you have to be successful. It's just the reality of it. It's hard, and I understand it's hard, with toddler and everything. I understand that, but just in general, if you can ever work it out where you can definitely have like a definite time of the day, definite days of the week, definite area, and things that you use to trade, you guys are going to be have a lot better chance of being successful. All these other things we're doing, we're trading on our phone, gamification of the app. We're not really 100% in tune with what's going on. All these things kind of contribute to us making bad decisions a lot of times as traders. Okay. Let me see here. So PLTR, what are we looking at here? Telling you, look at 1-2 here, right? Well, 1-2 is what I would look at. So my quick and dirty right here, I would go 1-2. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and leave those. It's fine. And then I think I'd be looking at like, I think you said local top you were thinking, right? I think it was Mr. Johnson there that did that, right? That's a big move up. That's a big move up. God, look at that. That's a 618 way up there. I think this might be 3 and 4 on this. Yeah, let me kind of zoom in a little bit more on this. Oh, now it's just ugly. Oh, Andrew, you were the one asking about this. Okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C is a flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, maybe that'd be 3, 4 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. It could be a wave 3 top maybe. Let me see here. That would give us what here? 2.272. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Could be. But if we continue breaking out higher here, I'd look around that 1870 area. That's at 2.618 as the next kind of target. I don't like this really short 4 here with this larger 2. Okay, no, I think we're probably doing something like this. And what we may actually get here is, I think, let's just pull back here. It's 23.6 pullback. Could be a short 4. If I'm looking at it, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. Looks like that maybe. If we can get rejected here and come on back, I'd look for a flat. So 4 still to kind of come back to this area. And that would make sense for the 23.6. Usually it's a shorter pullback. And that would do that. Otherwise, yeah, the target there. Otherwise, yeah, I'd be looking at maybe wave 5 or 3 being up there around that 1870 area. Initially, that would be where I'd be looking. So either it gets rejected where it is, continues getting rejected, comes on back down here toward this, $14, $14.30 area. And, maybe right about there, and then rallies up to that 1870. Or it just continues where it's going up to the 1870. That would be wave 3. And then we'd look for a bit more of a pullback on that. Right there. Yeah, see, and then you kind of look back at that 1430 area again. So could pull back, finish a flat, and then go up, or it could go up and then pull back. But in either way, that wave 4 first target is going to be right around that 1430 area if wave 5 is right there, which is what it looks like it may be. Yeah, I don't think back to the daily pivot. We're coming up, well, it's only halfway through the month. I don't think so. I think we go 3, 4, and then we get a 5, and maybe like an overextension at 5 and kind of keep it pushing. Let me see here. Ah, man. I mean, this just looks like a really great wave. This is a wave 3, guys. See how they get these very large candles and all this very large volume rallying up? That's a wave 3. So whether it's 3 of 3 or it's 3 here, either way, I think this is a third wave here. And so we should overall have price continue higher here. You can see that this pullback will get us back to the R1 pivot on the weekly for pushing out higher there. So yeah, okay. So I think that kind of gets us done there. We did push up a bit higher here. 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 and done. If this is done, guys, I would look for a pullback here. Gosh, got all this stuff here. That's a slightly higher high there, isn't it? 26,217.79, 26,214. Oh, man. I mean, this is a higher high here, which suggests a flat. Or maybe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we're on the 5 minutes, so it's really tough to see there. We'll probably continue up higher. I would just be looking for a pullback, guys, before entering long at this point. I think we're probably nearing a top. We are right now at the 30-minute pivot, low volume node, you know. We're coming right up into this supply structure here. We could maybe see 26.3, maybe. Yeah, the hourly pivot, we're right up there. I would generally kind of expect to get rejected here and pull back and then kind of continue on up, I think. So that's what I'm looking at right now, guys. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe a 5 here. Man, these big moves look like a wave 3, though. But, you know, again, we'll look for a rejection here. We're getting rejected right now. We'll look for it to pull on back down toward, I don't know, what would be a good target? 25,500 give you a 50% retrace. 61.8 gets you right into the demand structure around 25,331. So if we can continue to get a pullback here and break down below that 25,684 area, I would look at those two targets and be looking for a reversal around there. Looking for the next move up. All right, so I'm running late here, guys. I've got to get ready for our mentor students. We've got a session here at 1:30. Baltazar says, I just sold a bit here, or I just sold a bit earlier here. Not going to chase the extra $100. Boom. That's right. That's exactly it. Don't go chase an extra $100, guys, when you've got money locked in. I finally got out of that position because it looks like it was topping out in the short time frame, but also because I was up like 50% over what I made yesterday. So, you know, it was, to me, these are meant to be short-term trades that I took yesterday and today. And there we go, right? So, LXT, what's up, man? You close your long here as well? That's great. That's great. All right, guys. So anyway, as always, remember, the only thing you control the market is how much you lose. So please keep working on that risk management. If you have not yet, please hit the thumbs up, hit the like, subscribe to the channel if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube or even on Facebook. Like the page. If you're on Twitter, follow me. You know, again, we do things a little bit differently than most people do out there. I'm not here to just to give you targets and whatnot. I'm here to discuss trading, and over time, you're going to get it. If you listen, you pay attention. If you're too doggone proud and not humble at all, you know, nothing can help you as a trader, guys. Okay? Just understand where you are and understand where you want to go, and then adjust your mind accordingly to how to get there. And that means listening. That means paying attention. It means being open, being coachable, right? That's what it means. All right, guys. So there we go again. Soren checking in from Copenhagen. Always great to have you checking in, man. Everybody else, y'all have a great weekend as well. Oh, Diego, yeah, I'm not using Restream anymore, man. He said the Restream bot isn't working anymore. I'm using StreamYard now because we had all those issues where Fibbo would try to come on and he'd be on backstage, and then when we went live, it would kick him and he couldn't get back on. And so I had to find a new streaming partner. So yeah, so that's why we're using StreamYard now. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, listen, you guys have a great day, a great weekend. Y'all trade safe. And remember, don't just look, don't just, enter because there's a chance. Look for those higher confidence entries. All right. You guys take care.